Hello, it's Rhea. Wherever you are, whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. It's been a while since I did one of these. I'm quite excited to do so now. I tried to paint my nails and have this look cute for the occasion, but literally within the smallest time frame ever, I already scratched these two and I think some of the others while I was washing rice for like literally 5 minutes. So God forbid I try to do anything cute ever again. Before this exciting sketchbook tour, things to know, I guess. I initially got the sketchbook back in 2021 whenever I visited New York for the first time and went to the Met Museum. Because my thing is I like to collect, I guess, sketchbooks whenever I travel. Everybody has like their own thing that they like to pick up whenever they go places, and for me, I think sketchbooks are really cool to get from other places. So I got this in September 2021 and I didn't start using it officially until 2024, or the beginning of 2024, because that's when I finished my prior sketchbook. If you base it off of that time, it took me 2 years and 4 months total since I finished this in May, which if you recall from my previous sketchbook time, that's a year faster. So hey, she's getting quicker at it. I would still say I'm on the slower side, and while I don't really owe myself or anyone a reason for that, I do have some things that might explain why. The first reason why I feel like it took me a while is because this is a little bit larger than my average sketchbook that I've done in the past, which is funny because my previous sketchbook was actually like an 8x8 square type layout, which was also kind of bigger. This one is a 7x9. And when I draw in my sketchbooks, I try my best to leave little to no real estate as much as possible. Second reason why it took me a while is because I started keeping what I call a hidden sketchbook, which is essentially a sketchbook that I don't show pretty much anywhere online or even to friends, but I still like to draw in it. The point of the hidden sketchbook is I typically draw in it a lot more carefree and unhinged than I do in my main sketchbooks. Because these, since I show them to y'all, I kind of overthink a little bit more on how I want it to look and like worrying on it looking perfect, even though it's kind of like impossible in itself. But I've likely made some kind of short form video content, like a short or reel about my hidden sketchbooks by now, but they're really fun and I always recommend them. So regarding the sketchbook itself, I cannot find the actual link to it anymore. I think I linked it in the past in one of my videos, but I don't even know which one it would have been. But just know that this is a Fabriano sketchbook, and again, it is a 7x9. I can't remember too much about like the GSM or anything like that. I know it works primarily kind of like hot press paper, but that is, I guess, all you need to know. So let's cover the stickers and we can get into the tour. Okay, stickers. So this first one was from the King Records, basically the, like, it's official Hypnosis microphone merch. I think I got it from like when I bought the Cross the Line album, because it sent a sticker for each division. So this is the Shibuya one for Fling Posse. We have this sticker from Maruti Vitamin Koyamori, or Maru. I'm just gonna call them Maru, but because I have a lot of their stuff, a lot of their stickers. I really like their art. So that's where this winged person sticker is from. This frog witch is from celtisart. And then we have this down here, I believe, is from journeybunnyart. I got it at a convention. This rose sticker here is from I'm a Wonder. I think it was from like one of her sticker sets. This sticker here in the middle, I tracked down because I bought it off of Booth, which is like going overseas, third-party shipping and all of that through Bai, Japan and all of that. So I don't know if you'll be able to get it with how the shipping situation is now, but I'll still leave it there for reference. I think this artist's name on Twitter is like Konichi Yamper. Again, I'll put it in the description or like on the video. But lastly, this sticker is from the actual Met Museum itself, just a dragon. Because I think at the time of me like working on this, it was Year of the Dragon. Was that 2024, right? Anyway, but the first page. Okay, so this side, which is just the back of the cover. So these two cards I got whenever I purchased a plushie of Akutagawa from Bungo Stray Dogs because I love him, and I just thought this is really cute, and also I really like this drawing, so there's that. These little guys here are from Maru. Once again, they also gave like this little like lavender stem, and I was so happy because I love lavender. And so yes, there's that. I have an I voted sticker here because I'm based. This little stamp, I believe, is from my friend Star's like it's like one of her OCs. Lastly, in the middle here, we have this Korean tea, which I always love the packaging on this, and I always wanted to try it out. It's just, it's so expensive. I don't know if it's just like that online or what. I haven't been to H Mart in a while, so I don't know if they ever have it in stock for me to get, but I actually bought this tea like a year ago, and I believe I didn't drink it very often because it was so expensive, so I wanted to savor it. And while I was like cleaning out like maybe a month or so ago, I found one little package left, and I was like, oh my gosh, I will save it for when I do my sketchbook tour. And so here is the tea that is very much in the sketchbook. I'm always so nervous to do that because I don't want to like spill it all over my sketchbook. So that's all of this part. And then we have this front cover here, which is of my OC Zure. We talked about this in my final sketchbook page video of me filling out the last page. I said no matter how bad it looked, it's still better than the first page, and like honestly I still stand by that because I don't know, this is okay, but I just wish that I gave it more. I just wish I gave it more. So yeah, my very shoddy typography basically just says welcome my love in French, and here we go. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's kind of just like this person making a heart. This is very like emo energy. Honestly, it's kind of iconic though. And then over here we have my OC Mira. I think I was kind of just doing like general studies, trying to get the feel for him. And then I colored these down here with like acrylic marker, which I really like. I think they turned out really cute. I like this fun poppy look to it. Pages. Both of these are pencil sketches, as you can tell. This first one I say at the top, proving that I don't need a reason to draw, just get started, because that's kind of something that I struggle with a lot, and I definitely felt in this sketchbook where I get caught up in like trying to have things planned out too much, like wanting like a theme or a nice spread. It's like just draw something, don't overthink that. It's a sketchbook. So we have Phoebe here from Wuthering Waves, and a sketch of Dopo from Hypnosis Microphone. These three are my OCs. So we have a little chibi head doodle of Celeste, Aura, and then Kane here at the bottom. I don't like how I drew him. This is just a random person that I drew off Pinterest, I think. And then over on this spread, we have white carnations. You're gonna see a good amount of pages of flower studies. One of these spreads is literally a video, so again, there's not too much at all explain on that. It's kind of self-explanatory anyways, but you'll see some notes here and there as well on that. I really like how this one came out with just like the simple, I don't know, blue sketches. It's fun to like sketch in a different color. Here, this is a video, so it's just me testing out museum supplies. I really like how this oil pastel came out, even though it's kind of like amateur. But it's of some water lilies that I saw at the botanical garden, I think, in New York. So, and then over here we have some ballpoint pen sketches. I don't know what this bunny character is, but every now and then I will like draw them when I'm doodling, and I really like it. I just think they're iconic. And all of these I think were off of Pinterest, if not just like straight up from my own brain. But over here we have some more flower studies, as I said. Trying out different ways to approach how I do these. So the ones up here are in colored pencil, and then I think some of these over here are like watercolor and pen or ink. And then this page is a video. I think I was talking about making studies into fan art. And yeah, but I don't really like how these came out. Over here, this is also a video. I think this was like probably my most popular silent studies video, even though I feel like it's kind of lackluster. Something about like POV, it's 4 AM and you feel like drawing, which I was very much doing that. I think the main reason why I feel like these are lackluster is because doing studies like this with Muji or similar pens is a lot harder than using ballpoint, because I don't know, it's like there's not as much leeway and pressure sensitivity, for lack of a better phrase, because with the ballpoint pen you can get like some pretty light strokes, but with Muji or similar pens it's kind of like, yeah, you can a little bit, but it's definitely going to be a more obvious mark. But either way, I'm just doing portrait studies. Over here we started the 100 heads challenge, so I did 50 heads or portraits in traditional format, and I did the other 50 in digital format, and all of these are done in pen. So I believe this is also a part of the video, so I'm just gonna skip through all of these, but it's a very humbling activity to do, or challenge. but I always enjoy doing it, and I might want to do it again sometime. But anyways, over here, this is also a video just doing like two-toned studies. I do this two-toned approach a couple times throughout this sketchbook, and I really like how it looks. So these are specifically with Pilot Color Eno. These over here, just again, basic studies. I might have mentioned already, but just again to reiterate, I guess, this sketchbook was primarily used for studies in the beginning, and then I started just kind of like working it however I felt like whenever I moved to using it as my main sketchbook. So over here we have some hand studies, and then the background is done with oil pastels once again, just kind of to like switch things up and kind of have this fun texture, which I do feel like is really cool. And then over here you can see it's likely bled through on the back from alcohol markers, so we'll get to that page, but here's some doodles because I still like to draw on the backside anyways. I don't really care too much. Sometimes I'll put down a post-it note or other like pieces of paper that I've drawn outside of my sketchbook. I'll just paste them in on pages where it's like bled through, but for the most part I don't really mind. I was actually surprised that this had shown as well as it did. Like, it kind of covers up a little bit. This is just watercolor. I think it's the Kuretake watercolor, but I'm not entirely sure, so. But here we have some of my OCs. This one, I believe, in general, was done as a short form video, but yeah, just alcohol marker practice and drawing my OCs. They all look so pretty. This is Aura. This one is Sohara, I think. This one is Abby. Ram Girl, she still doesn't have a name. Isn't that crazy? This person does not have a name, and this is Peony, so yeah. Then over here we have some sketches of Namjoon from BTS for, I think, whenever his second or third album, I can't remember, like personal album, mixtape, whatever you want to call it, was released. So at the time I was like really into it, so I did all these sketches. Again, I think this is also a video, so over here, of course, this is also a video, so I digress, but just some flower studies that I did. Flower studies I did with colored pencil, and then over here I switched the flower studies to, again, watercolor and ink. These are of carnations, which I really love. And I think I did this character down here kind of as like a carnation Gijinka, but I have yet to do this like properly. I definitely want to. I think carnations are probably one of my favorite designs of flowers. And over here we have this little, I don't know if you can read it, but I basically said, silly girl forgot how a temporary tattoo works, because this was also in like my order from Maru's like shop, and one of the things they have was like temporary tattoos of their artwork, which I think is so freaking cool, but I forgot how to put it on right, so I accidentally used it the wrong way, and I was like, no, this one was my favorite, and so I couldn't really like use it properly because it already sealed in towards the paper instead of on my skin, so I just kind of stuck it in my sketchbook. Over here we have these two vastly different pages, honestly. This one's a video likely during Inktober, lots of fun kind of unhinged themes going on here. This was a reel, or shorts rather, that I did of some iconic magical girls, and thank you for your like positive, kind feedback on this. I was so worried because like I honestly drew them very derpy looking, and I was like, this does not, like so many times I draw stuff on camera or like for a video and I'm like, this does not represent my true artistic skill, I swear, but like I can't really say anything because that's how it looks. So I was expecting everyone to be like, ooh, these look kind of chopped and yikes, but everyone was like, oh wow, this is really cool, like oh my gosh, how cute, my favorite magical girl is Sakura or Madoka, and I was like, oh okay, cool, nice. Over here on the back, again, it bled through, but I still just like doodled anyways. I think the only legible sketch you can see here is Jokudai, so everything looks different layout-wise. It's because my camera died and I had to put in a new battery after waiting like 30 minutes for my other batteries to charge. So I'm trying really hard to speed through this sketchbook and not have to film it 500 times because there's some kind of interruption or something. So, oh my goodness, please. Over on this page, this was also a video, silent studies video. I didn't do the background in that video. I did this afterwards, but I do think it's like a fun thing to do after you like sketch a spread. If it's just pencil sketches, I don't know, something, it just adds something a little bit more interesting if you feel like it looks too dull being pencil sketches, but either way. And we have a double spread here. All of these characters are my OCs. So here on the left, we have Abby, which is the personification of an apple. So she's just this cute little apple girl. I really like this specific page because of, I guess, like the colors, the way that I use these stickers in tandem with like the washi tape and everything. I don't know, I just feel like it really turned out nicely. Like, I do feel like these sketches could have been a little bit better, but they're still kind of cute in some way. I don't know, it just feels like really bright and fun. And then over here we have my OCs Lilith and Roji. I kind of redid her design a little bit, or I'm like still in the process of trying to figure out her redesign, but so this is kind of like a little bit newer, but I do like it on her. And yeah, I kind of like the concept of this, but I would like to execute it a lot better. But it's just them like hanging out somewhere. And then over here we have some Hypnosis microphone fan art, but it's like they got cutified, they got yassified. The feminization is real. It's so cute. So Hifumi, very gyaru, and then same with Ramada and Samatoki. Shakurai, I guess just as a teacher, essentially. Any excuse to draw him, I will go for it because I love him. Over here, we have Dotsuitare Hai, so we have Sasada and Rosho, just again, cutesy, going to school, I guess. I don't know. It's kind of honestly a collective shit post, but like, I had fun. And then some more Hypnosis microphone doodles. So we have Ramada at the top and Dobo at the bottom. These were done with friction point knock pins, I think, for the sketching. And then I did the coloring with the mild liners. So that like fun little highlighter effect, which is nice because it doesn't bleed through to the other pages, you can see. So yeah. And then this page, I just said, shh, I didn't forget you exist, it's okay, because I basically ended up drawing OCs that I don't really draw often. I have a lot of OCs. I definitely have at least 50, definitely more, but I know I have at least 50, and so not everybody gets screen time, and a lot of them I'm still kind of fleshing out how I want them to be, or where I want them to be, and all of that, so. But this is 8. Little demon character I have. This is Gisetta. This is like the gingerbread personification. I have a lot of personification OCs and I love them, but they don't always get proper screen time. This is Cirrus. This is Soul. RK. Kane. Kane. Why did I call him Kane? I like almost never do that. Hello, my brain. Soul. RK. Kane. She doesn't have a name, but like rabbit girl. I didn't draw her rabbit ears. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Normally she has like these, is she like a hair actually? I don't know, but she normally has like these long rabbit ears to go with her giant space buns. And then over here we have Aura and Aloris, so my two iconic Catgirl idol sisters. I wish this turned out better on terms of the watercolor, but it's like hot press paper, again, it stains a bit. It doesn't really blend as nicely as cold press. So I was kind of like realizing that while I was doing it, and I was like, oh, that's not, I still think, despite me really needing to clean this up better, but I never came back to it, I was like, girl, whatever. It's still kind of cute. Over here we have some floral studies, except they're dying. This may or may not have been a short form video, but yeah, basically my usual studies, except these are dying. So I have all these little notes on the flowers that I drew. And then over here, it just says, please don't die on me so quickly. These were some flowers, I forgot what they're called. It's either like daffodils or buttercup, something. They smelled really good and they were really nice, but they died so quickly. And I was like, no, please, you're so beautiful. Stay with me longer. And then over here, these are just very like nothing type sketches. And this page is a silent studies video, so I will skip these, but yeah, studies. This might be a short form content video. It's just of me doing inking studies of flowers, which I do have an actual full video of me doing, but not this spread. So these are marigold sketches, and then these are sunflower sketches. I think the inking on this is kind of cool, actually. And then over here, this was another silent studies sketch video of just like bodies. And then this is kind of just like a basic I feel like some of these pages are a little bit more barren than I realized or remembered, but this right here is just a sketch of a bouquet that I got, either for my birthday or something, I don't really remember, but I don't know if I said it before, but a lot of floral studies happened because I think in either 2023 or 2024, I was like, I'm going to sketch all the flowers that I receive or buy in this year. So that's what I did. And so over here we have some, I think lilies, at least tiger lilies flowers. So yeah, some of those. It's really nice to be able to draw these from like in person and actually looking at the object as opposed to always looking at photos, because that's something that I want to make sure that I balance out more moving forward. And then over here we have floral studies of hydrangea, which is one of my favorite flowers. However, these look janky. This literally just looks like a giant broccoli, which is why I wrote that. So yeah, and then of course my Magical Girl spread. This is a video that I have on my channel, I think probably done during May because I like Magical Girl May. Oh, this just gave up. Okay, anyway, well, you can see on the back here, these are like some sketches, but sometimes I cover those up since you can't really see them anyways, and I just, again, paste something in there. So here's that drawing of Celeste that I did for I think an alcohol marker video of only using one color. And then over here, this is a short form, real short, whatever you want to call it, for Holbein. So we have my OCs. Not all of these are my official OCs. Some of these are just random people that I drew. But this is my OC, Emmy. We have Lilith, we have Sai, and Mira looking very janky, but it's okay because it'd be like that. Some eyes on the side. I really like Holbein watercolors. I think they're really nice, and they worked well with this paper. So over here we have some fountain pen drawings that I colored with like Paul Rubin leftover watercolors. You know when you like use watercolors for something but you don't use all the colors in that one session, and so you have some like leftover paint in like one of your palettes. So I just used that for some of these sketches of people that I found on Pinterest. And over here we have a page of Akutagawa, again from Bungo Stray Dogs, along with Atsushi, because they're a really fun duo. And I don't know, I guess I was kind of drawing them as like this agent vibe, like they work together as like partners, and yeah, just some cute doodles. It's not often that I draw them, and I am always shy and nervous with fan art, so I'm like, am I doing them justice? I don't know, but I do think this is kind of cute. I like this doodle down here. And then over here we have some clouds, just kind of like, I guess probably trying out either watercolor or ink. I think it's watercolor because I think I got like a dark storm kind of blue and like a purple, but there's that. And then over here we have this storm cloud character who kind of has like sad boy energy, but in like this non-binary cloud way. Very fun. I want to do this more where I draw characters that aren't necessarily people or like human, but they're kind of like they have human mannerisms or something. I don't know, but it was just really fun trying to show this character like emoting and like, I don't know, just yeah, showing emotion. So how their little storm bolt changes to like a question mark, or when they're like frightened, I guess, or just sad, and then like them just sitting in this corner. I don't know, I just think it's really cute. Is that weird? I don't know. But so there's a Stormcloud character, and then you can kind of see like a corresponding character or like a similar cloud character over here. But first, let's talk about this spread. It's basically just a bunch of skeletal anatomy sketches. So regular human, cat, I think, a bird, a deer skull, and then finally like a wolf skull, I think, maybe. And at the bottom it says Memento Mori because very valid phrasing, we all gonna die, but is that morbid? I'm sorry. Then over here we have, again, the cloud character. This one, it's Kita Kita Kumo, or like sparkly cloud. I just think they're really cute. I just really like their vibe. Yeah, no. I don't know how well it is to see because of I did it in Pilot Color Eno mostly. So like pink, yellow, and like slightly blue mechanical colored pencil. But I just love the sketches, the way that they have their little like sparkle emblem change, and at the bottom they have like this cute typical anime crush confession thing going here. So yeah. For this spread, this is a video of me talking about the galores of ballpoint pen. I don't really like how this spread came out, and I'm like, dang, is this okay that I posted this? But c'est la vie. And over here, actually, I do feel like this turned out pretty cool. In the video, I do this spread as well, but I did not add in all of this at the time. I mentioned that I might do it later, and I did it later. So this is my OC RK. I think she looks really cool, and yeah, I love the addition of like the black background and like the flames, and just coloring her in, just her skin in, and like the rest being ballpoint pen. I think that was really cool and experimental. Oof. Here's the leftover real estate that I didn't fill out, but that's okay. But the rest is just Arctic's paint marker swatches. Honestly, I could have just made this entire page that, but I think I was like holding out for something, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what, because I didn't end up sketching anything, so. But over here, again, this is a video, so we have these sketches of fan art, except for this character, which is my OC. And then here, I think was me, like, maybe preparing for Inktober? I don't really know. I would put my ink in water brushes, which I don't really recommend unless they are water-based ink, because if they are regular like acrylic ink or otherwise, it might just like clog the brush and make it not work properly, if that makes sense. So yeah, there's that. And then on this spread, it's a portrait type sketch of my OC. I just call her Tigress because she's like a tiger. So over here we have some more floral studies. I can't really remember what this flower is called. It kind of reminds me of a chrysanthemum, but I don't know if that's exactly what it was. So I did these studies in pencil and colored it in watercolor. Here we have a watercolor painting that I did not continue like touching up. I just did the painting part. Usually with these I like to go in and touch them up either with colored pencil or pen or something. I didn't do that here, I guess because I just gave up. I don't know. I do really like how it looks though. I enjoy like the, I guess it's because like the purple being paired with the red. I think purple and red is a really fun combination, and I also like the idea of like red flowers and dark hair. I don't know, something about it just makes my brain so happy. So there's this spread, and over here we have some two-toned fashion study sketches. It's kind of giving like Black Butler, so like what is it? Victorian style, I guess. I just pasted in this drawing of one of my OCs. Over here, this is kind of like a foreshadowing to the next page because it's of my pumpkin spice OC. This, we have a fun little double spread or spread. I keep forgetting the proper terminology for it, but both these pages are themed together. It's all fall based, so these are all my OCs based off of fall flavors. So we have Abby here again for the apple flavor, PK for pumpkin spice, and May for maple. And yeah, this was a really fun spread to do, and it's a video, so I will spare you from yapping too much about it, but it's unfortunate that something kind of bled through here on her mouth, but I mean, that's kind of what happens when you draw so many pages back to back using different media. Over here we just have some shoe sketches, I guess. One of them I tried to use gouache on lightly, but eh. And then over here, I really like this spread, except it kind of bled through from the other page again. These were just some sketches that I did of images I found off Pinterest. I lightly colored the background in like a light blue and did this grid pattern, which I thought was really fun. Unfortunately, again, it bled through, but these are cute. So that was a page that bled through, and you can see this page transferring a little bit. There's some kind of way over onto this page. This spread is based off of these flowers right here, the baby's breath and the wilted roses, because I didn't get to draw them in time, so I just took a picture to do it. I also wanted to try using masking fluid, so that's where doing the baby's breath came into play. And yeah, this character, I don't know, they just kind of exist, and yeah. Over here, this was a video for like just cute self-care type energy, comfort vibes. I also like this simplistic style. I don't know, it just makes me happy. So over here we have some, I think, gouache, like chibis that I painted with gouache after sketching them. I don't know these characters, or they're just kind of like random characters that I made. And then over here, This was what I wanted to initially be a video, but by the time I got to it, I was like, I just need to finish the sketchbook. Like, I can't make every spread a video. And also, I don't really want to do that. Like, personally, if I can help it in the future, I only want like no more than 30% of the pages in my sketchbook to be videos, because it gets to a point, right? So what this video was going to be was me trying out Himi Jelly Gouache by drawing my little Pokemon persona and the squad that I won the Pokemon League with. So you see all these Pokemon here, and I draw Pokemon horribly, I'm sorry, because I'm not really used to it at all, so they look kind of derpy, but I don't know, it still kind of turned out cute. And at the top it just says like congratulations in Japanese, because yeah, won the Hall of Fame. So yeah, this is my squad. I chose, what is name, Piplup at the beginning, so my Empoleon, Luxray, Rosalia, Haunter, and then Houndoom and Tingling. Poor little guy was not really fit for like the team that I was going up against, but I think I either gave Trick Room to Tingling or Haunter, and that was essentially what finally saved me. I think this spread is overall kind of cute. I think I mostly like Tingling because, I don't know, he just looks so cute. He's just so like a giant bell. I don't know, that's just so cute. Also, I think I did a kind of decent job with gouache. I mean, it's not horrible, so that's my idea of like a decent job, I suppose. Though at this point I had used gouache a little bit more. This was kind of more on the earlier side of me using it, but this, again, it was more towards the end of me finishing my sketchbook. But so here we have an OC, and I said don't look, but their ponytail's on the wrong side, and yeah, that's true. Usually their ponytail is on the other side. But yeah, it's just like this cute bunny character, and they have this little like giant hammer. I suppose I was meaning for it to look like a little Swiss roll cake or something, which is really cute. And then over here, of course, we have the Undertale spread, so this was a video as well. I was trying out acrylic gouache to draw these characters, and honestly, outside of the mess from this page getting onto this one, the only person I feel like I drew okay was Undyne, so, but I love her, so that makes sense. Over here, now we're getting into some of my concept sketches for like, I think last year's Inktober or 2024 Inktober, I don't know. But basically I was just doing Inktober redraws. Again, I think this is a video, so I will scroll past, scroll? Oh my god, I'm so online, that's so embarrassing. I'll just go ahead and skip past them, but here's a fun little thumbnail of some of the planning that I did for this. For whatever you can see, whatever it's worth. At this point I was getting kind of burned out, I suppose, from like the full page illustrations, and so I just have a bunch of random sketches of stuff that I saw on Pinterest. This is horrifying. So this page is basically just doodles that I did for New Year's of 2025, so it's kind of just like me, and it says still feels the same as yesterday though. Does anything ever change? And it has like a little arrow that's saying waiting to play video games, because it's true. I was waiting for the Wuthering Waves update. I think the one for like Rinasita, but over here you have Aura and Mira judging me because she's like, New Year, but she's still watching anime all day. And Mira's like, and where's our ref sheets? Come on. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, no. But, and then finally at the bottom here we have Eira and Reina. So Eira's like, we look forward to serving you. And Reina's like, I'm already tired though. Sometimes I wonder if these doodles just kind of showcase my insanity, but it's fine. Over here, again, more Inktober redraws of prompts from like a couple of years ago that I redrew. So here I think was like the 404 error or something, which I feel like is a fun concept, but I'd like to redraw it digitally or something. And then this one, I can't remember what prompt this was. I think, if nothing else, it's just here, and I had to put a little sticky note here just in case, saying it's just a freaking human body, because this person is like without clothing, and I don't want any kind of algorithm to think I'm ugly and horrible for showing a human body in its natural form. So, but aside from that, I just feel like this entire spread was so fun to do. And then on this page we have just some doodles. I don't know, I don't know what I was trying out. I guess like different hairstyles or something. yeah, okay, some doodles here, and then over here, this might have been the first time I used gouache. I can't remember fully, but it does say gouache test in the corner, and these are paintings, drawings, sketch paintings, whatever, of my OC phrase. I don't mind either of these sketches, like they're okay, but neither of them are consistent, I guess. I do like the color of this background and how it goes with, I don't know, I feel like the color palette kind of goes together in a way, but overall I do feel like it's kind of cute. And then this page, this was a kind of like a backup video, but it was a video that I posted, so I will skip it for the most part. And over here was the official Himi Jelly Gouache sketches, and these two I think are a little bit more recent of me using gouache or testing it out. You can see I put girl help here because I was like, it's still so difficult, what do I do? But I do kind of like these, like they're definitely not up to par with what I want, but getting a little bit closer. Also, I have the footage of me swatching this, so I might include it in a video someday, even though my jelly gouache set is not nearly in the condition that it was whenever I first bought it. And then over here, again, this spread is a video of me testing this Artix 48 set, which I feel like is one of their most iconic sets, but I can't really say that because it's not like I've tried out so many others. But out of the ones that I have tried, I think this one is pretty good. I would recommend it for if you're starting out and you wanted just one set to use acrylic markers with. I think this one's pretty good. And this illustration is of Sakura from Cardcaptor Sakura, specifically the clear card opening when she's like in this red Queen of Hearts type energy. I don't know, it's really cute and really pretty, so I just wish that the sheer part wasn't part of her costume because that was really difficult for me to try to convey in that moment, so I struggled, but it's okay. And over here we have some outfit of the day chibis, so just me kind of drawing outfits that I wore. This shirt has stripes, so I don't know why I just like didn't draw that, so that's cool, I guess. This was from I think I was going to like some kind of zine event or whatever, where it's like a bunch of booths and some people are artists, some people are just like selling zines or other kinds of creative medias and all that. But I remember going to this event for like 30 minutes and then I was like, oh my god, I want to go home because I'm just here by myself and it's a little bit awkward and I'm walking by all these booths but I don't know anybody and I don't want to just stand at somebody's booth staring at their stuff awkwardly and I would just rather perish, so I'm gonna go home. So that was the time, but I do think the outfit I was wearing that day was really cute. This chibi here, the reason why there's like blood, I guess, is because I was going to get hot pot and on my way to the hot pot place, I had really screwed up a turn that I was making in my car and I literally almost died. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I swear it was just me and myself in that car, but I know what happened and I think it was like a guardian angel type moment because there's just no way. Because basically I made a late turn, so I swerved my car and I stopped just before a telephone pole. If I was going any faster, I would not be here. I'm not trying to be casual about it, but I guess I kind of am, but it was just crazy. So yeah, I guess this is like me being like, what if I almost died? But I think the main conclusion was, at least if I did, I was totally serving in this cute outfit, so hey. And this chibi here at the bottom was my Christmas outfit, I guess, for that year. Was that 2024? I think so, yeah. All these are 2024. Then over here we have some chibis. So I think I only colored in this one with watercolor. The rest I was kind of just trying out different ways I wanted a chibi head to look because I am never sure of how I want to do like a cuter, simpler, stylized drawing of a character. So I was just trying out different things. Then over here we have, again, like a little duotone study of different maid dresses, I suppose. Really cute. And then we have like this Kuromi washi tape that I added to this. This is a fun little spread. And of course here, this is a video as well. Again, duotone studies. These I did with actual colored pencils. These I did with like Pilot Color Eno, which is mechanical colored pencils. And I feel like the difference is kind of like regular colored pencils have more of a toothierness or like more texture because it's uneven, I suppose. So it kind of just depends on what mood I'm in, but both are kind of neat. And then over here, these are basically just studies of peony flowers because I think My mom had brought back some last year maybe, and they were so freaking pretty. I took many photos of them. I had some in my room and I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. However, I don't really know how to capture it because it's so pretty, so we just kind of have this. So one of my more recent videos was me doing this first one, but basically all of these are done all using the same color, or at least the color range. So it's kind of like a little mini art challenge, because it's like, it's really interesting trying to restrict yourself to only a certain color of supplies. And I talked about it in the video doing this, why it was kind of difficult, but yeah, we'll just go ahead and flip through these, I guess. So we have pink and red first. I do really like this one. This was the first one that I did, and this was the last one that I did. So ironically, I do not like the last one, but this first one's pretty cute. I like this little character. And then orange and yellow, which I feel so bad for because neither of these colors I really care for that much. And also in that same notion, I don't really have many supplies in this color, or at least in like these varied colors for orange or for yellow. So plus it's kind of like, how dark yellow can you go before it's just straight up brown? And it's the same thing with orange, so these were definitely a struggle, but hopefully they look kind of cute. I do like the themes of them a little bit. And green and blue, surprise, surprise, a little bit easier to do because the color range on green and blue is quite, like, I feel like there's a lot you can do with that. I'll say the background on this is kind of light, so I meant to add a little bit more green, but overall though, I do kind of like it. It was supposed to be like this atmospheric type of, I don't know, like you're in a rainforest or something. This is obviously like underwater type vibes. I love the moon jellies. I really like this blue one. And then of course purple and gray. I think, again, this is where I'm really trying to figure out like what type of simplified style I want to go with for these illustrations, because I think it would be a bit much to try to draw these in like a semi-realistic style. I wanted to still keep it simple but still like, I don't know, immersive, if that makes sense. This is what I was talking about in the pink video where I was like, should I try to make this into like official prints, like rework kind of how they look and make sure they look cleaner and like really represent the colors that I am showing. But I don't know if people would be interested to see these as like official prints. Obviously some of these, like these two, would be a lot more interesting looking than kind of how they look right now, but also I cannot draw wisteria yet to save my life, so was definitely struggling with that. But this one I actually really liked it. I mostly like the little pattern approach that I took where it's like adding the dots or like the little like raindrops. I don't know, something about it's just really fun. Again, the biggest challenge for these was not even just like staying within the color range, but also using materials that will not bleed on the opposite page so I can do these back to back. And then the washi tape around them. Sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. As you can see with like, you know, some of the edges, it's not the cleanest thing ever, so. But the final pages here, which y'all probably can't even see, so it doesn't even really look that cool, I guess, but here is the all black page and here is the all white page. They were difficult, but they do have like concepts to them, and I do think it's kind of cool to have even attempted this. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it, but basically for the all black one, again, I did this as a reel, and I wish that I could have made this character come out like prettier, I guess. Like, I feel like I did their side profile kind of botched. Basically, they're kind of like in this night scene with these like ink cats following them, and like they're carrying a giant paintbrush and there's some crows flying, and you know, it's like the little cityscape in the night sky. I don't know, it's kind of pretty. And then for this one, it's like a character that's walking. They kind of have like this fluffy either sheep-like hair or just like paper-like hair. I don't even remember anymore because it was kind of hard to see. Both of these were very difficult to execute. I think the white page was probably the hardest, but I do think it helped to paint this entire like border black. So I think just in general, even though it's not the easiest to see and it's not really like coherent, I do think it's kind of cool that I did this. So that's the end of that, and now hopefully the rest goes pretty smoothly. These are just sketches that I did while I was working on a piece that I actually just finished, but it was a very long time coming, so while I was still working on the early stages of it, I said my Apple Pen needed to charge, so I'm gonna practice more blossoms, because the illustration has a lot of cherry blossoms in it, and I have never been able to draw them the way that I would have liked to. Cherry blossoms can be difficult whenever you're drawing them like actually instead of being being a little bit more abstract like a lot of people tend to do because it's a pain to draw them. So yeah, I was trying to get as much practice as I could get. Over here we have some sketches of Changli from Wuthering Waves again because she is my favorite. I love her as, I think she's my favorite along with Jian. So I love Changli and I love Jian a lot. So we have a fusion character and an arrow character, but generally all the fusion characters I love, and this is the start of me drawing a couple because I'm essentially going to draw my little squad. So, and I do like this little like peach color background that I added with this pearlescent ink that I got. I think it's really pretty, but and then of course, yeah, so we have Lupa's page and we have Brandt's page. I didn't expect myself to draw all three back to back, especially in my main sketchbook because I'm a little bit more shy of doing fan art. I think I drew Lupa's first whenever she just came out and we were just introduced to her, and then later I was like, oh, let me go back and add Changli and I'll add Brandt because they're kind of like my main squad that I use, at least right now. Fire characters are so cool and I love all three of them. I think they have fun personalities and they look pretty, so yeah. Also, this is so freaking derpy, but I love Brandt on this little anchor, like his little ult move, but yeah. And then over here, so I think I talked about this before. Again, this is a video of me drawing guys, and then we have like, this was the original page where whenever before I started working in my sketchbook, I drew some of these guys. And yeah, so we have like a very earlier spread of this, and then we have a more updated spread. I really like them. I kind of want to make them a character. Over here, we just have some studies. So I kind of like this little like speech bubble thing that I did here where it's like, hey, it's time for a casual fit check. So these were studies that I did off of Pinterest. I think I did these with a friction point knock because it's one of my favorite go-tos for sketching. And same thing over here, except I did it with the red pen. And yeah, some shoe studies. I always like to do studies of shoes because I do not know how to draw shoes on my own. So it's nice to have a little like touch up, I guess. And I don't know, these look kind of cool. Oof. So here was me testing out gouache and it went horribly, so I kind of want to just ignore this entire page as a concept. It's fine, we don't have to talk about it. But over here, these are just watercolor drawings of my OCs, I believe. Yeah, so we have Sirius up here. I made his face a little bit more round than I wanted to, I guess. And then over here we have Anji and we have RK. She doesn't really have any light in her eyes, which kind of makes her seem like a little bit, I don't know, scary, dull, dead inside. Is that foreshadowing? I don't know. Then we have some carnations down here. And lastly, we have my OC Reina. So yeah, I think it was kind of fun to do this spread, just like creating some borders and testing some things out. These were all done, I believe, with watercolor at this point, and with a little bit of colored pencil to like touch it up, because that's usually how I use watercolor. But so yeah, I'm kind of doing these like full page portraits of my OCs, specifically my little seasonal OCs. If you remember, I made a video of turning the seasons into some witch boys or sorcerers. So here's them and their portraits. So we have the first one that I'm totally not incredibly biased and in love with, Aster. And then we have Very, who I love so much as well. This one was actually a video of me, you know, just practicing sketching, because I don't typically do pencil portraits. I don't really do portraits in general, like to this scale, so it was definitely a little bit newer for me. But so we have them, and then we have Sol and Atlas. So oh, and I guess for reference, if you're kind of wondering, even more context, so basically winter, spring, summer, fall. I'm in the middle of reworking Atlas's design, I will say, because I don't know. Even here, like, doing the freaking, his twists, I think I would like just regular braids better, but it was still kind of, like, interesting to try to execute this. I will say I kind of wish these two came out a little bit better, especially Sol. I don't know, I just feel a little bit mixed about how he came out. I think overall, since it was my first time in a while doing like full page portraits, it wasn't horrible, so I definitely want to try these again. So over here we have more Gijinka-esque characters, or basically characters that are personifications of something. So these are my little flower phase. So this is Anji, this is Rouge and Haruto. So we have a hydrangea, rose, and a cherry blossom. And yeah, it was fun to redraw them because I haven't drawn them in a while and I feel bad because I do enjoy them. I care about them a lot, but like the seasonal boys, my little sorcerers, get a little bit more attention, and by a little bit I mean a lot. So, and more personification OCs here. We have hot chocolate and mint because I did Christmas flavors one year, and yeah, I just wanted to do like cute little watercolor sketches of them. Oh, these also, I believe, were done with watercolor. And then over here, you might have heard me mention whenever I did the final page of my sketchbook that I did try out like trying to get medium to dark skin tones with watercolor, and so that was kind of my test here. And again, I feel like for the most part, they came out kind of cool. And down here we kind of have like a little Descades cameo from Ichi the Witch. And then this spread, all fan art, I believe. Yes, because these two are from Hypnosis Mics. We have Saburo and Miss Otome. And then Akutagawa again, of course. Then we have Luke from Wuthering Waves. And Yachi from Haikyuu. Actually, we have 3 Haikyuu characters. Yachi, Oikawa, and Iwaizumi, little chibi versions of them sitting on some milk tea. But Yachi's is like, I totally screwed up this page's layout. No! Because I wanted it to look a little bit better, but honestly, when you get towards the end of the sketchbook, it's simply about finishing it. So yeah, I have some more doodles and memes throughout this page, but this second to last page is just sketches that I did of objects that I took pictures of at the museum. You can see I wasn't really feeling like the blue mechanical pencil sketching, so I just switched pencil throughout. So I would love to go to a museum and actually like sketch in person as well, but even these are kind of fun from like the photos. Yep. And finally, we have the last page, which I did a video on, so I won't really elaborate too much on it, but yeah, here we are, final page. And this is how we close out. So this page is of my OC Zure, and it was kind of a hot mess putting it together. Definitely didn't come out as nice as I wanted it to, but overall, hey, it's just like I said, compared to the first page, I think it's better. Honestly, yeah, I think we can all agree. So that's pretty much it. You can see here I kind of wrote down some of my notes on how I felt about the sketchbook. So we have like the pros and cons, or yay and rip. So things that I did like. I like the full page illustrations like this. I was glad to do that because it's not really something that I've done in the past. I will always like making original concept art of things. I just think it's fun to play around with just some ideas that you have originally and go from there. Of course, even though I say originally, it's not like everything was never influenced whenever I make it. It definitely comes from other things, but just the concept of me playing around with whatever in my brain as opposed to like always doing like something fan art related, I guess. I did a lot of experimentation with different kinds of art mediums, so that was really fun because we did watercolor, gouache, inks, acrylic markers, so a good mix of those. Some things that I wish turned out better, I felt like I started overthinking the spreads a little bit too much. I definitely kind of put an extra weight onto things that I don't really want to keep happening whenever I work in my sketchbook. I feel like the fan art that I did do, I kind of wish that came out better as well. I also feel like I should do more diverse studies, and what I mean by that is like I would like to do things like perspective maybe if I'm drawing people, like foreshortening and all of that, or people with backgrounds, and even taking it outside of that, like doing animals or objects more. I have a lot of things to do studies on that aren't just like character or like people based. And lastly, more fun layouts would be nice. I think that's definitely something that I experimented with a little bit in the sketchbook, but I want to continue pushing that moving forward. The last 3 things, time-wise, it took me from officially, I guess you could say, from January 2024 to May of 2026. So 2 years and 4 months. As for the rating, because I also like to put a rating for my sketchbooks, or at least since my last one, I rated this one an 8 out of 10, so my previous one was a 7.5 out of 10. I think this one I did pretty decent on, and my status for it is now complete. So yes, finally I can close this once and for all. Just kidding, because I mean, like, I don't know about you, but I tend to revisit sketchbooks from time to time. Oh, wait a second, I don't think I talked about the sticker. This sticker is of my OC Anji. It's a sticker that I made. I think I had a video of me like talking about drop shipping services. And then on the back here, this is also one of my stickers. It's of this like little moo cow delivery. It's one of my aspirations to open up a shop online so I can sell my stickers and stuff to people, but it is definitely a very long work in progress. So but that is pretty much all I have to say and share regarding the sketchbook. Yeah, I don't know, I think I agree with what I wrote in here, which is overall it was a pretty fun time, and I am glad to go ahead and move on to the next sketchbook. I have chosen my next sketchbook, and I told you guys that I also will be working in a hidden sketchbook along with this. So I'll hold on to the sketchbook that I plan to work in as my main sketchbook as a surprise for the next video. But for now, maybe I can share with you the hidden sketchbook that I will be working in the side to kind of like deal with any of my art block moments or just random lighter sketches that I want to do, a little bit messier, a little bit crazier. Ta-da! Here we go. Oh, it matches my nails a little bit, actually. See? I told you I like these colors. So this is my hidden sketchbook. I have worked in it a little bit. I would show you pages, but that defeats the purpose. I was actually starting to sketch in this like literally 5 minutes ago when my parents were talking and I had to like stall filming more, so I was like, let me just still do something useful while I'm waiting. But the sketchbook is from Rin Spirit Art, so technically these are like notebooks, but overall I love it because the hydrangea theme, and that is a spoiler for the main sketchbook that I'm going to be working in because it is also a hydrangea theme. But that is essentially it. So again, you will likely not be seeing this sketchbook unless I decide to do something generous and share my secrets one day. But this sketchbook you will also not really see again. But it was a fun time showing you guys kind of what I had worked on in the time period of me filling this out. So yeah, thanks for coming along with me. Again, I hope it wasn't too yappy or too chaotic or too incoherent. Depending on how I edit this, hopefully it comes out still okay. But thank you guys regardless for kind of just hanging out with me and looking at art together. So on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out because I feel like we've been here long enough. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed your time here today, you can let me know by leaving a like. If you'd like to see more of my content, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. Thank you for 700 subs, by the way. That's scary, that's cool, that's exciting, that's scary, that's thank you. I feel like we're slowly growing like a storm. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but again, thank you. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea or Eutharian, and I like making art and art-related content on my channel. While I try to post bi-weekly at least, if you would like more timely updates, you can follow me on Blue Sky, Tumblr, and I think Instagram sometimes. Until next time, once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of your day and week. Take care.